Maybe can you describe a turn?
Yeah, so when I do a turn, I'm usually starting off straight, getting speed, and I can see kind of what's coming up and the place where I'm gonna do the turn. So I really slowly shift the weight like slightly onto my front foot, but just slightly. It's kind of not a fast movement, just slowly. And then I kind of start with my hip initiating the turn. And then as the spot approaches, I really bend my knees and try to get the hip as far to the snow as possible and try to be low at the same time. And that gives me more stability. And then I push through the center, the most powerful part of the turn. And then comes the beautiful moment of release where you're kind of like almost like weightless for a second. And yeah, already kind of having the point of where I see the next turn beginning visualized. And yeah, that's 2 turns. I don't know. That felt really weird. Even though a turn is kind of the simplest thing in snowboarding, if you dive into it and experience all the details, the whole world opens up. The psychological aspect, the feeling, the physics that go into it, it gets very complex very fast. And it's funny that from the outside it just looks like a simple turn. I think what I like the most is linking all the body movements together and feeling that acceleration out of the turn actually. And maybe also the moment where you feel like you have power and you're translating that power into like a direction, and it all kind of feels like it comes together at that one point. And yeah, you can really feel if you did a good turn, it just feels different. Simplicity is at the forefront of shaping snowboards, I think, for me. Yeah, I want them to do exactly what they need to do and not have any extras on it. But I wouldn't say it's a scientific approach. It's more of a, I don't know, organic, kind of creative kind of process, it feels to me. I think interest is a big driving force. Just wonder, you know, like how would a board look that's wider than it is long, for example. Just silly ideas like that. And it's just curiosity, like what would it look like? Then seeing it come to life from like a drawing is pretty special. Yeah, so this is the garage. Basically where I have all my prototypes. So they're mostly like leftovers from just testing new shapes, seeing what works. A lot of history, a lot of things that didn't work out. Kind of weird double deckers that you can slant the angle on. There's my very first snowboard. Kind of grew out of it, but it still works, I guess. The earliest memories of kind of seeing snowboarding and turning was probably in my local ski resort. There was like a big poster and it was an advertisement. I don't know if it was Peter Bauer or one of the old legends, and they were doing like a full lay down carve. And I remember being there and asking my dad, like, how do I do that? And he's like, well, you have to ride the board on the edge and not slide. So I remember trying that and learning and just drifting and then looking back, checking my tracks if they were like just a thin line or not. And eventually I kind of got the feeling for it to just let the radius, the board do the turns and not necessarily like shift it. Yeah, so that's kind of like the earliest memories of like getting in touch with it. You can come and do this, and then you could cross over, and there's like a crazy pinner couloir going down in between like these faces here. It's so beautiful. And maybe we could go do that and walk out to Bondo and then take the hitchhike back to the car. Would be the other option. The gates kind of confine you, and the big mountains are like an open landscape, and you can be so much more creative. You can choose your line from all these lines out there. I mean, there's millions, probably more. I definitely have places that I really would like to set turns. It's not the specific turn itself, it's more the whole experience. Yeah, it just does something for you, like creates this one. Like I would like to be up there and experience the feeling. But it's also a bit scaring me, to be honest. Just because I don't want to die snowboarding. I want to live and ride for another turn, you know? And yeah, that's something I think about a lot, and I think it has a lot to do with ego and at some parts trying to prove something to myself maybe, or yeah, it's definitely there is something there.
Beautiful morning.
Yeah, it looks super nice, huh?
Yeah.
I'm ready. Okay, dropping.
Because it's just really inspired by simplicity. I think that's what drives him. Everyone does everything up to 80% of perfection and then go on to the next, because the next 20% takes so much time to achieve. But it's also very inspiring and nice that certain individuals try to master something. Maybe it's like a counteract to what's going on in snowboarding or in skiing a lot of the time, where it's always more and more and further, higher, gnarlier. His unique value is just being persistent in staying true to what he loves, and that's turning.
I would love to be able to simplify my life to the point where it's kind of like my snowboarding at the moment. From my experience, it's a lot harder in everyday life to make that happen. It's much more complex. But if you use the terrain and whatever's coming at you and be creative with it and go with the flow, see where it takes you, it's usually more efficient and feels better at the end of the day. I think what I like most about it is the fact that you're doing something that almost feels supernatural. Like you shouldn't be going down a steep slope like that and just railing down, keeping the speed. And it just feels like something that is kind of like a present that I'm surprised that it's even possible. And it just comes back to the feeling. It just feels good. It's as simple as that. Yeah. It's as simple as that.